Okay, the next one is trim. I've used string trim. That was our next, so that's the big thing. And we had on one of the Janet M prompts that had National Whatever Day. You can make it up or whatever. Well, it just so happened when I did this page, yes, I'm working ahead. I had all these done by the 6th of January. But it was actually National Spaghetti Day, and we decided to cook spaghetti that day. So I made my own spaghetti stencil. I cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and I've stenciled some spaghetti here, and then I used some of the string twine as trim, put over being spaghetti. I drew my day at a stove cooking. Oh, it was January 4th is when I did this one, which was National Spaghetti Day, and I drew myself cooking spaghetti. Don't laugh at my thing. And then bubble wrap was another thing, so I had bubble wrap because I thought that went well with the circle of the Inca page background there. One of the thing about all these that I have done, this is stuff that I could add on. Remember that Jody Lee Lewis, Jody Lee, why do I keep saying Jody Lee? Jody Lewis Creations. All these are simple pages because I'm going to be adding more to these throughout the year. If I do another challenge, I might do them on top of these. So these are necessarily, yes, the prompts are done, but they're very simple, but I consider them backgrounds ready to build more on. So that's why you're seeing a lot of space, because I want a purpose to what I do, and I like things clean. Then the next day was using magazines, so I basically used magazine for the whole page. All these are magazines, but some of the prompts that we had to use was crayons, and so I've outlined in crayons and added my coloring and outlining with some crayons. Then a wanted poster, and I thought this was cute, so I changed laugh into laughter, and I put wanted up here. So that's my actual wanted poster, wanted laughter. And that sort of played off going into another one. You're supposed to use a Sesame Street character, or a, oh my goodness. Anyway, but Sesame Street is a part of the character. I can't even find the prompt right now. What is it? Anyway, there is use a Dr. Seuss character. And if you look even in some of the Dr. Seuss books, they actually have some of the Sesame Street characters in there. They got Dr. Seuss books, so that counts. They combined later on, and that's a Build-A-Pocket that I had in my scraps. But, you know, Goofy's holding the wanted sign, the Autobots. So I sort of took a little play off of that type of thing for the laughter and the fun page to pull in the things that can make you laugh as a kid or whatnot. Then day 12 was day 12 was supposed to be overlap. And you can see they're overlapping. Even the image that Ink and Page did, the colors are overlapping. And it was supposed to be nuographic art. And one of the definitions of nuographic art is that it's supposed to be free-flowing shapes, and the shapes are supposed to look like neurons, and a lot of neurons will be this oval, roundish type shape. So that's where I went through with that. What I did, how I did it, I stamped using my stamp. That's what these shapes are. I made my own rubber stamp to use, and that's what all these different shapes using that too. So I stamped in the acrylic black paint first, and then I used a watercolor to paint the art in there. And that's why, you know, some of it's running, and I did my watercolor a little bit different. I didn't use water to activate it, and I like the look, and I'm going to play with that a little bit more before I say what I did with it. The next day, on day 13, we're supposed to do opaque. So I used the watercolor again to make opaque. As far as the Janet M. Young prompts, we had make a quilt. So I did a crazy quilt using the watercolor and drew that out and colored it. We should use something from the circus. So my elephant is something from the circus. I know, goofy looking elephant, but yeah, I'm too lazy to get up and get a pencil. So I do all that with a pen. What you see is what you get. So that's why it's like that. I'll probably add in some gray and stuff. One of her other prompts is put a butt on it. I don't know what that's about, but I did a forward mini elephant, and the next elephant, he's turned around backwards with his tail hanging down there, and so there's his butt. So that was my opaque page. The next day we were to do balance. This one, I do not like it, but I didn't want to do old classic balance, but with balance, it means it's equal on both sides. So the numbers in the middle of the page, the glass is split in half, which that's one of the scavenger hunt prompts, is draw your glass. And I said, is the glass half full or half empty? That's about how my mind was that day. I really wasn't into doing this, but I did it. So something very simple, but I'll be putting more on this page. I'll be adding other stuff to this later on. Then we had a neutral page, and this is basically what I've done neutral. I've used some of my jelly printing. I had some, this is some vintage stuff that I'd cut some trims off. This is some digitals from that I'd had in a bucket somewhere. I made a pocket out of a vintage neutral thing. Made a little bookmark with a little character that I found and printed it off and cut it out. Just some little neutral colors. So basically everything on this page is neutral, so I can add a ton more stuff to it and keep going with it. And that page is blank that I'll be adding more stuff. All right, I'll catch y'all later.